Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Christmas. Welcome to Christmas. It is Christmas Day. This is our Christmas Day stream. We do this every year. Actually, this is, I think, yeah, this is number five. Number five. Even though the station, I'm calling us a station. Wow. Even though the channel is only 4 years old, we started late in the fall of 2021. So we did get a Christmas right away. So we have done this. This is our fifth year. So I always love these. I always love these mornings. I love these mornings for sure. We're gonna look back on the last year. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna answer questions. All of that fun stuff. So I also prepared a little something for the show too. So I I got a question. I have a question, and I've prepared an answer, but maybe the answer I prepared is different than your answer. But here's the question: What what was your favorite video of the last year? Which video resonated the most with you? Which one do you love? Which is one that you might even watch multiple times? I mean, let's put that question out there. I'm kind of curious to know. Well, I will tell you, I have, and just to give you a hint, I've got the top 10 videos of 2025 done up on the whiteboard. On the whiteboard. Of course it's on the whiteboard. You guys know I love the whiteboard, but there's no hand drawing on it this time. It's just the top 10 videos. And before we even get into that, I definitely have some context. And we'll get to that context in a minute. The most important part of today's stream is you guys. Honestly, it's you guys. So I'm going to try to stay right on top of the chat this morning. Because, yeah, it's a big one. Ian says 10 minutes until it starts. Better get dressed in case I end up being a guest. Ah. Yeah, if you guys, I mean, if any of you do want to pop in, we can make that happen. We can make that happen. No problem with that at all. Morley says, good afternoon, everyone. And Andrew says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Convos with JJ, howdy y'all. I think JJ was on live earlier this morning, so you beat me to the Christmas morning punch. And we got a happy holidays from JJ. All right. Braga says, good morning, everyone. Canada, Merry Christmas. Yeah, absolutely. Zyborg's in with a Merry Christmas. And we got a joyous Kwanzaa coming in from Andrew. Andrew. Any StreamYard. Yeah, I'll drop a link here in a little bit. I want to talk about the top 10 first. After the top 10 is done, if anybody does want to jump on, I'll drop a link for sure. But we'll get through the top 10. That's the first piece of content. So I want to get through that because it's a little easier to do that by myself. Mario says, good morning, everyone, and Merry Christmas. All right. So the context of the top 10 videos. There's an interesting thing. Those of you who have been here for a while, you've noticed there's been a bit of a content change this year. So coming into 2025, we were still pretty heavily slanted in the stock direction. You know, we had the occasional ETF content, but for the most part, it was mostly stocks. However, and this is the thing, when you have a channel like this, you kind of have to shift with the trends. And the trends in Canada really started changing going into 2025. In fact, one of the big trends in Canada was ETFs. ETF popularity is off the charts. A lot more people were moving to ETFs. Now, there's a lot of people who have theories on why this happened. One of the theories I heard is that with Donald Trump coming into the US and all of that extra uncertainty, it makes it a little more risky to be investing in individual stocks. So a lot of people, just for the safety reasons, started turning to ETFs. Well, that might be part of it. I think as well, ETFs are pretty good products. So I think a lot of people started moving because once people started looking at them, I think they're like saying, "Oh my gosh, this is a good way to invest." So obviously, as that happened, and I remember early in the year, I heard somebody talking. They're like, "Yeah, nobody does deep dives on ETFs." And when I heard that, I'm like, I need to do a deep dive on an ETF. That was my immediate response. And so yeah, so the content change means that if this content change was successful, all of these top 10 should be in the second half of the year. And I will tell you right now, that might be the case. I put the months down for each of these. So let's just start. Let's just pull the Band-Aid off. Let's look at number 10. Number 10. All right. So number 10. Oh, here we go. So we had this video that came out, 5 more stable monthly 10% plus income ETFs. This is actually a sequel to to basically a 5 more stable 10 plus ETFs. And we're going to see that on the list as well. But yeah, this here is that video. This was July. This was pretty much. I'm trying to think when I really started the content change. It was probably May into June. May into June that happened. So yeah, the first of our list, and I'll tell you guys, all of these videos have had a lot of views, a lot of views. Like this one here was, I don't know, somewhere's over 7,000 views on it. So definitely a good video. And yeah, kind of cool. Now, I don't know if this is anybody here's favorite, but we still got nine more, what's the word I'm looking? Bangers. 9 more bangers. 9 more bangers ahead. So we still have more content for sure. And we're gonna be moving back and forth, big and small, to the list, all over the place. Because yeah, I want to definitely, I don't want to get caught up in the content and forget about you guys for sure. And JJ dropped a link. I think that's the episode you released this morning. All right, there we go. There we go. Now, was it pre-recorded or were you actually live? I looked at it and I thought it looked like it might have been live, but I'm not 100% sure. I was kind of in the process of getting ready for this stream. Andrew is in the house again with a happy Hanukkah. Yeah. Now, is Hanukkah over? Like, when does Hanukkah end? I don't know this. I know that there's like, I think it's 8 days. Is it 8 days? Something like that. But all right. Lisa says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Elaine saying Merry Christmas. And we got podcast recorded. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's that's always fun. That's always fun. I don't know how many people go live on Christmas morning. I may be the only one in the financial sector who's doing it, at least the Canadian financial sector. But if there's another one out there, I'd be curious to know. But nonetheless, as long as you guys keep showing up, I'm going to keep doing these. I'm going to keep doing these for sure. All right, so we just finished looking at at number 10, and oh, I just noticed something here. My head is blocking part of the thumbnail, but I don't think it's that important. Anyway, let's move on to number 9. So number 9 was part of that whole $100,000 windfall, and this actually started in a so the whole windfall series that we did last year, this year, it started in a channel members only, like one of the channel members live streams, and somebody was saying, "Oh, I'd love it if you did a video." I can't remember who it was. I know it was a girl who said it, but it might have been. Guys, please, if I'm wrong, take this with a grain of salt. But I think it might have been Kelly, who had mentioned, wouldn't it be cool to do a video about what to do with like $100,000 windfall? So that's where that whole idea came from. We did, and it was kind of ambitious. We did 3 different investing styles. We did one for dividend growth, we did one for growth income, and one for pure income. So and I also did a fourth video where I just threw them all together into a single video for anybody who wanted to sort of catch all of that. So yeah, that was kind of a really, really cool one. That was in September. So not too shabby. All right, and you know what? Let's see here. Oh, let's jump quickly back to the chat. JJ says thinking about doing a live with Paul and Sean from Better Call Paul this Saturday though. Okay, sounds fun. Sounds fun. Sky says Merry Christmas, everyone. And Larry, everything is closed today. Oh, I know, I know. It's that one day of the week you don't want to run out of things because then you're forced to go to a convenience store or a corner store. And you know what happens at a corner store? Now they're going to overcharge you big time. Bismarcky in the house with a Merry Christmas to all. All right. I love it. I love it. All right. Now, those of you who are just joining, we're counting down. We are counting down as kind of a little bit of side content, our top 10 videos of 2025. And this is straight up by views. So these are the most watched on the channel. And yeah, we just finished number 9. Let's jump on back in. So yeah, we did number 10, 5 more stable monthly, 10% plus income ETFs. Number 9, building passive income with 100K windfall. And number 8, essential ETFs for income and growth. I loved this one. So this here, this is growth income investing 101. It's great. We did that one in August. So yeah, I really love the fact that this one did pretty darn good. And this 2025 has absolutely been a really good year for growth income investors. So growth income, that's that hybrid strategy. So you're looking for some growth, but you're looking for that income at the same time. This has been a fantastic year for that. We've had we've had ETFs like HDIV that racked up the growth and the dividends. So we've definitely had some pretty good ones this year. Larry says, I needed milk for my eggs, pancakes, and turkey bacon. Oh no. Oh, yeah. Well, you can get milk at a convenience store, but keep in mind, now guys, Canada is more, our cities are more friendly for walking around. Now, I'm not sure about the city that Larry's in, but I know a lot of the U.S. cities, not so much. You pretty much got to drive. You pretty much got to drive places. So I have a feeling like I say, oh, just go to a convenience store. It may not be a simple thing. It might be a 20-minute drive for somebody, for Larry down in Texas. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe Larry just happens to live across from a convenience store, but I'm going to guess 20-minute drive. That's my guess. Ian said, I had to get groceries yesterday, waited 45 minutes in line to pay. Yeah, so I needed more coffee. And Jill was kind of like, well, you can walk over and get some to the grocery store. I mean, quite literally, the grocery store is about a 10-minute walk. But I was like, let's see, going into a grocery store to buy a single thing on Christmas Eve. Nope, not gonna do it. We ended up, actually, Jill ended up ordering it and getting it delivered. So I have coffee. Well, I still had enough coffee for this. It's not like I was on the verge of running out. Well, I'm on the verge of running out, but there's enough there for a couple more days. Very, very good. I love it. I love it. Oh, gosh. All right. Back to our countdown, folks. So that was our number 8. Now, and these videos, my God, each one of these I think is a great video. So, it's like we're only at 8, and I'm like, this could have been number 1. This could have been number 1. But no, we got 7 more. We got 7 more that did better. So number 7. All right. And this is a great one here. So we did the Hamilton Daymax ETF changes the game. So of course, this is one of the big things. As I mentioned, as ETFs keep getting more and more popular, well, along came Hamilton, and they did those 0 day to expiry, or sorry, 0 DTE. And yeah, these were three really, really good ETFs, good income, and semi-monthly payouts. So this is where the game changes from all of the monthly dividend payouts, especially in the income investing world, going down to twice a month. And yeah, this was really, this was a this was a bit of a game changer. This one was a bit of a game changer. Now, I will admit, I think Adriano over there on passive income, he got his out before me on this one. He beat me to the game, but nonetheless, this video did great. It was good to see this shakeup, a little bit of a shakeup. Now, this shakeup is going to lead to another shakeup, and I think we got it higher on the list. So definitely. All right. Let me see. Larry says South Austin, no convenience stores near, just homeless people walked outside. It smells like weed. Oh, gosh. That's the wrong. You're supposed to be smelling frankincense and myrrh, I think. Or holly, at least. Let's see. 700K house and still literally 100 feet from the homeless camp in the woods. All right. But here's the question, Larry. If you wanted to go to a convenience store, how long would it take you to drive there? I guessed 20 minutes, but now I'm thinking I might be. I think I'm on the low side. Claude is in the house with a hello, Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you as well, Claude. All right, getting back to the list. So yeah, that was number 7. So yeah, oh my God, we had such a great year. All right, let's just jump right into 6. And here it is. Could you have a better one for 6? We got the 6y video. So this one I did beat Adriano out on. I got it out before he did. So 6y is coming, involves big bank yield play. And you guys know we talked a lot about 6y this year. So this one did come in at 6 back in November. Of course, 6y is now out and paying once again. 6y is paying those dividends semi-monthly. So, 2 times a month. I have already received my first dividend from 6y, and I'm liking it. So this was a good one. And it kind of goes to show once again, going back to here, when I said the ETFs changed the game, well, here is another player on that changed game. So yeah, number 6, 6y is coming, and that one did really, really well. I'm kind of like, what could the top 5 be? Holy banana bread. All right. And combos with JJ. Yeah, 6y is very fitting for 6. And that's just, and guys, that's just where the data fell. Mr. Vuri says, Merry Christmas. And Claude says, and the S logo from Scotiabank in the middle, symmetry. I love that. Yes. I'm a huge fan of symmetry as well. So I do love me some good symmetry. Larry says, cleaning the house today. I don't want to pay for the maid this week. All right, fair enough. And here's the thing, maybe if the maid's really, really good, maybe the house doesn't need to be cleaned that much. But yeah, we'll see. All right. Holy banana bread, guys. Should we break into the top 5? I want to. Let's do it. Let's see what could be at number 5. This one. This is an interesting one here. Whoops, don't want to show 4 yet. So 5 U.S. income ETFs paying big and growing. And I'll tell you why this is interesting. I got a lot of requests to make a U.S. income ETF video. I just assumed most of the requests were Americans, but some of them weren't. But I will tell you, in the past, at least with the old format, anytime I made U.S. content, it did awful. So I was very hesitant. I know that there was people that wanted it, and I know I kept saying over and over again in the comments, yes, it is something I'm looking at. It's something I'm thinking about. But I eventually bit the bullet. I made the video, and surprise, it did really well. I was not expecting that because at least in the non-income sort of slant that the channel had before this, it wouldn't have done well. It just U.S. content just never really did well. But at the same time, I think my overall American audience has increased. So there is that too. But yeah, it did absolutely well, and it probably brought in more Americans to the channel as well. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. So now I'm not as hesitant. The next time I'm thinking about doing some more U.S. income ETF type videos. Yeah, I'm game for it. And that one does crack us into the top 5. So now we got 4 bangers left. Oh boy, let's move to 4. All right. So this one here, back in October, great income ETFs for your TFSA 2026 edition. I was looking ahead, right? Let's throw 2026 on there, get people thinking ahead. But yeah, it resonated pretty well. It did. I think right now, all of the top 4, I think they all broke 10,000 views. So yeah, definitely one that really resonated well for sure. All right. And we're on a roll. We're on a roll. Let's just roll into 3. Let's roll into 3. All right. And this one was my top 5 covered call ETF. So this was me looking at a few of my favorites. So obviously, you got like HYLD in there. You got Bank in there. You've got you got HDIV in there. So yeah, this was more or less, kind of the ones that I really resonate with currently. So I love this video. It did really, really well. All right, now number 2. Number 2, before we have a huge dramatic pause before number 1. This here, if you remember, I said that number 10 was a sequel to another one further on the list. Well, it was a sequel to this one. So 5 stable monthly income ETFs. The other one was 5 more. But yeah, 10% monthly income plus. This one just did fantastic. It was the second best viewed video on the channel. All right, we got one left. And I'm kind of curious. What do you guys think it is? What is obviously it's probably an ETF of some sort. Is it an ETF list? Could it be a deep dive on a single ETF? I'm kind of curious. Guys, hit the comments. Please hit the comments. Throw me a couple of guesses. I would love to see if somebody hits it. Larry comes in with a REIT list. No, not a REIT. Oh gosh. A REIT, I think this year, I don't think a REIT list would have done very well. REITs had an underwhelming year. A year that was supposed to be pretty good for them with rate cuts, because as you guys know, rate cuts tend to put more people into REITs because they're higher income vehicles. So a lot of people will move out of bonds into things like REITs, utilities. But that did not happen this year. That absolutely didn't happen this year. And you're going to see more about this in, tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll see more about this because tomorrow we have a video that's dropping. I'm going to take a look back. January, I made a video on sector ETFs. So we're going to take a look at my sector ETF picks. We're going to rate that, all of that, just like the one we did last week, but with those sector ETF picks. All right, Mr. Vuri says anything HHIS. Bismarcky, HHIS deep dive. I cannot put anything past the two of you. I cannot put anything past the two of you. Oh my gosh. So yes, HHIS, number 1 video of the year. So yes, is HHIS a must-have income ETF? It has absolutely done really, really well. More than 10,000 views. It's been it still gets views. It's a steady winner for sure. So this, yeah, this was definitely an interesting one. Now, Ian's asking what video of yours has the highest views. So if we look at all time, now all time, this one is probably at about, oh gosh, um, uh, it's in the top 5. It's in the top 5. But the number one video on the channel of all times is a video on OAS. It's a video that just went viral for whatever reason. It's got like 30, I don't know, 30 some odd thousand views. So, well, here, I'll show you. I haven't updated this in probably about a week, so some of these numbers are not fully updated, but this will give you the general idea. Let me pull this up, and I'm going to come over here, top 25. There we go. Let me just drag this over. So this here is the top 25 videos of all time. Oh, yeah, look at this. HHIS is at number 2. So I said they were top 5, but yeah, they're actually at number 2. But yeah, these are the top ones right here, the top 25. Well, these are the ones, the runner-up ones who are trying to break into the top 25. On this list, if it's green, it means that it is a relatively current video. So it's still got some movement to make. So we got a couple that just recently entered into the 10,000 club. So that's always fantastic. But yeah, this one here, understanding OAS and GIS in Canada, how to avoid clawbacks. 34,886, and it's probably a tiny little bit more. So that was, yeah, that's absolutely. Now, Lily, let me just pull up Lily for a second. So Lily made a guess, interview with Adriano. Well, if we look at our top, these are the top videos. These here are the top views right here. And this one at the very top. So these here are live streams. The Income Investing 101, that was that interview with Adriano. So that is the top viewed live stream right now with like pretty close to 6,000 views. So that's definitely a good one. And then, a lot of them, like a lot of our good ones, absolutely up in the thousands of views. So I will always say, like, most of, like, quite literally, when I finish a live stream, so we might, depending, like this one will have lower views because it's Christmas. But when I finish a live stream, and here, I'm just going to go up big screen for a second. I'm probably sitting at, depending on the stream, anywhere from 400 to maybe 600 views. But then by the time all of the people watch it at home, it usually takes it up to about 1,000, depending on the streams. Like there are some that, and I will admit, this month, because I'm doing the Financial Express, so we've been doing a live stream pretty much every market close. We don't get some of the bigger spikes because there are some people who are like, when you only have it on Wednesday, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't miss it. I can't miss it. But if you can look at it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, Wednesday, it's not as much of a must-see day. So, it has tempered things down and spread things out a little bit, but that's fine. That's fine. I do crazy stuff in December anyway, and this is no different. Morley says I was going to pick HHIS also. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Sky, HHIS high yield. Ian says my highest view video is called Mastercraft Deluxe Stud Finder Review, 16K. It's a 10-second long. Yeah, but you know what? I've watched YouTube videos on finding studs, just because I wanted to figure out how to do that when I was going to hang stuff, a couple years ago. So I think everybody has watched at least one, and Mastercraft, well, hey, why not? I like the name. Claude says, do you know how many days in average it takes to get 90% of your views on a video? It depends on the video. It will depend on the video. So let me do something here. I'm going to drag this here over. All right, so this here, This is the channel dashboard right now. So this shows you everything that's going on. But here's what I want to show you. I'm going to go right now into content. And actually here, I'm going to go analytics. We're going to come in here. These are the current stuff going on right now. So yeah, right now there's 91 people. 91 people have popped in within the last hour on this current live stream. But what I'm looking for is let me see. Oh, I'm also going to upload a video this afternoon for the channel members that'll go live tomorrow. So that's that sector 1. But I have to make sure I don't forget to do that, because that would suck. All right, let me see here. I'm just trying to see, because normally the OAS is always picking things up. And I want to sort of use that as a demonstration here. Oh, look at that. I'm not seeing them in the top little bit. All right, that's fine. We'll get to it. We'll get to it the hard way. Actually, no, there's an easy way to get to it. We'll just go to content. And let me just see here. Videos. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. But I'm just going to boom. Boom. There's a lot. There is quite literally. Oh, you can't see my screen? Oops. All right. All right, here we go. But that's fine. I haven't even gotten to what I want to show. I haven't gotten to what I want to show yet. So just give me a second here. I am just jumping through stuff here. All right, it was in February. Let me see here. Here it is, right here. This is the one I want to pull up. So this here is that maximizing OAS. Now, here's the interesting thing on this one. So yeah, it's got 34,955 views. All right, so if you look at it, right here, this here is after 2 months. So 62 days, it only had 2,440 views. So this one right here is where it happened. So basically, 192 days after it went in, it jumped from like 6,000 up to 10,000. So this is where the algorithm just went crazy on this video. It pumped it up, and then it's been steady ever since. Now it looks like it's petering out, but anytime it looks like it, it just keeps on adding. It keeps on adding. So this one right now, like I said, it'll be at 35,000. Probably early January, it'll break the 35,000. But it just keeps on going and going and going. So that is kind of interesting. Now, let's look at a recent video. All right, and we'll take a look at, let's see here. I want to find one of the, oh, you'll notice this is in here twice. That's because I released it ahead of time. But, all right, let's look at the 60 video. Here we go. Here's the 60 video. I'll pull up the analytics on this one. All right, and with this one here, yeah, you can sort of see right away, bang, that huge. So you can see the biggest growth spurt on this one here was basically within the first 2 days. So within the first 2 days, 4,883 views. And then since then, yeah, it's still picking up views. Like it's climbing up 7,000, 8,000. You know, it'll get to the 9,000. But it'll take it a while. It'll take it a while. Like, and this one here shouldn't, because 60 is here, right? So it's kind of no longer relevant, but it's still people who are interested in 60, you know, may jump in anyway. So it's still climbing on its way up. So it's kind of that interesting thing. So yeah, so typically, yes, most of your views are going to happen within the first couple of days. And that's one of the reasons, like, so the way it works with Amazon, with Google, I was going to say Google or YouTube, is that initially when I release a video, it sends it out to the subscribers first. So the subscribers will get most of the recommendations, and depending on how they react, it determines what the algorithm does next. So if it goes out to the subscribers and a bunch of subscribers sort of go, oh, yeah, we're not interested in that one. That one's just, maybe not that one. Well, then it doesn't send it out as much. It'll send out a little bit out further, but it sort of tempers what it does. So that part, so that pushing out to subscribers part, that can be the part that handcuffs a video. And, and that's one of the reasons that, you guys are very, very important, of course. So just something to keep in mind. So I'll give you an example. Like, let's go with my latest video here. So this one here, like, it's a great video, but it's sponsored. That there sometimes we'll make people go, oh yeah, okay, we can't take this one seriously. And you'll see very little movement. Now, the reason that this one is not doing so well is, well, the subscribers. No, you guys just weren't that interested in it. So because there was less subscriber engagement, it's just crawling along. And you'll notice this gray line above. Well, that's where normal videos go. Normal videos will flow in this zone up here. But this one, nope, it's not. It's, it falls, it's falling flat. It's falling flat. And that does happen. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it happens, but it does happen. It does happen at times. And, there's one of those things like now I will say, not always. When I did the sponsored video for bank, that one did okay. That one did okay. That one's up around, I think that one's up around 5,000 views. Just this 9.1, not really resonating a lot. Now, it's also split core as well. So, I probably should have changed up. Like, what I should have done right away is change the thumbnail to see if I could get a little bit more of some traction on it. But right now, it's not getting that traction. I'll, I don't know. There's not much I can do. I always get a little concerned though, because when somebody sponsors it, because I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, so a sponsorship is always a good little shot into the revenue. Yeah, to me, I always get a little concerned because it's a situation where it's like, if it does really bad, how can I justify charging as much as I do for a sponsorship? So one of those fun things. All right. Anyway, let's go big screen. Let's head back here. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. And then, yeah, I know, I know. All right, in this here, Jonathan is in with a Merry Christmas. Now, as a channel member, guys, you all get these free little highlighted message. You get one a month. So use them, because especially on busy days, this takes the same priority as a super chat. It doesn't get us to our goals if we have any kind of a super chat goal, but it does guarantee that it's going to get read. So it gets starred and everything, so I can reference it. So yeah, absolutely. And Merry Christmas to you as well, Jonathan. Hopefully it's a good day in Halifax. This makes me wonder, guys, any of you guys having a perfect Christmas? So a perfect Christmas is basically you got a few centimeters of snow on the ground and it's snowing. So is it snowing for any of you guys? We sort of, it's funny, like it was snowing this morning and we got the snow on the ground. So we technically had a perfect Christmas in the early mornings, but it's all tapered off now and it's just an overcast day at the moment. So what can I say? Claude says, wow, long life. And interesting, love those stats. Gotta go. Have a great one, everyone. And take care. Take care. Do you have a goal for the channel, like in subs? I've always have a goal. So obviously right now, the next big goal is 10,000 subs. I was really wanting to hit them. I really wanted to hit them in this month, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. We're still, well, yeah. What are we at right now? Let's take a look. Let's actually go right back to the beginning. We'll go to the main dashboard. So yeah, right now we are 47 shy. Sorry, 47. 447 shy. So we'll definitely hit it in January. Not a big thing. And as I always do, 10,000 is the next special video. So we will make some kind of a celebration event of some sort when we hit that. So yeah, so that's definitely one of the goals. Some of the other goals, obviously, is one of my goals is to have the channel actually generate enough income that I don't have to do things like trade on the side, for example. Um, that's a goal down the road. That's a longer goal. It's going to take longer to get there, but it's a steady thing. And I will say this, income-wise, the channel generates basically the amount of income it generates doubles each year. So we're still in the lower parts of that doubling, but if that trend keeps going, we should be pretty profitable within a couple of years. So that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. All right. Convos with JJ. Montreal, slightly snowing. And Ian says, got no snow here. Had cookies for breakfast. That's like a perfect Christmas. Progressive says, Merry Christmas. Ottawa weather isn't nice. Too cold and too much snow. Yeah, it's been cold this year. And yeah, there's a good amount of snow out there. We almost got rid of the snow. We had one rain event. But then the rain event, oh boy, it disappeared. It disappeared. Greetings all. Merry Christmas. Oh, and guys, by the way, just speaking, we were talking about supers earlier. Today is the last day to see the Christmas I was going to say the Christmas goose, the Christmas goat. So, and you don't have to do like 4 or 5 to get to the Christmas goat. Any supers are going to pull up the goat. And I might just pull up the goat anyway one last time, just because you know what, I will. Let's pull up the goat. I want to see the goat. So yeah, this goat is retiring after today. This is our Christmas goat. Oh boy. I love it. I love it. But anyway, that'll be the last we see of the Christmas goat this year. Next year I'll probably have a different Christmas goat. But anyway, nonetheless, what can I say? What can I say? All right. Jan is in the house with a Merry Christmas, everyone. Feeling blessed to have you all in my investing and trading life. Special thanks to you, Candace, for being such an amazing person and helping us all so much. All the best. Thank you. Thank you. And as well, Merry Christmas to all your families as well, guys. Morley, no snow, and it quit raining for Christmas morning. Lake Kawachin, Vancouver Island. All right. Yeah, well, you guys always have good weather, though. Sometimes having a green Christmas is the price you pay, but it's not a bad price. Ian says to generate more income, you could branch out into making cat videos. Call it Mountain Cats. It's funny that you say that. It's not that I'm planning to make a cat video, but I mean, early on, I was looking at, I did try to create another channel. It was just too much work. It was way too much work. So I did make a science channel. There's a few, like there's a video out there of, of me talking science. It's out there. So yeah, I did do that briefly, but it was just way too much work. And honestly, it was kind of like, do I want to give all of my energy to one channel and really, really take it someplace? Or do I want to split that energy up and perhaps hurt both channels in the process? So I was like, no, I want to completely double down on, and this is this channel here, obviously, because, this is the passion one. So, and I do love science, but the science was just so, like, quite literally, the editing. Like, I did one video on what would happen if a black hole went through the solar system. And oh dear God, I swear it took a full day of just editing images just to get into that. It was like, it was very, very intensive. Vic is in the house. Let's see, the one day I don't have to drive. Nice. Gotta love it. Rory says, just popping in. Merry Christmas, everyone. Shoveling the driveway again. Oh, you gotta love that. You gotta love that. Jan says, I'm very happy with the market in 2025. I'm very excited for 2026. Yeah, I'm thinking 2026 is going to be a good year. Good times, Christmas goat. I know. Cowboy. My shovel runs on diesel. Oh, so you got to plow. Mr. Plow. Now I'm thinking about the Simpsons episode, but hey, why not? Bismarcky, I think you should keep that goat and create a new one next year. Then we can have a battle of the goats. Oh, that's an idea. That's an idea. We'll see. We'll see what happens by next year. I could get some crazy idea by next year. Who knows? For our Aussie viewers, a kangaroo should be in should be in our videos. Yep. Well, there used to be that one that holiday song, that one Christmas song that was about Australia. About Santa coming with kangaroos. I can't remember. I can't remember the exact. I can sort of hear it in the back of my head, but it's out there. Gold bull for good luck. That's not a bad thing. Whoops, I ended up jumping over everybody. Jan says I struggle with too many things. Always glad have you picked glad. Oh, sorry. Glad you picked investing. There we go. We got it. Cowboy says 2026 goal 4,500 a month in dividends. That's not a bad goal. That's not a bad goal at all. Condo, no shoveling for me. Nice. Merry Christmas, all. Have a wonderful day. Coming from Roku in Stittsville. Cowboy says 6. Is somebody about to say 7? 6, 7, I'm trying. Actually, by now, the Zoomers are probably really annoyed that everybody's using their 6, 7. So next year, it'll probably be 8, 9. I mean, who knows? There's the 7. Perfect. Ian has dropped in the 7. I love it. So yeah, no, it's been a good year. It's been a good year for sure. And I just love these really, like, if you've come to the Christmas stream hoping for a lot of deep dive stuff, you're in the wrong place for today. These are pretty chill. These streams have always been pretty chill. Mario says, my goal is to hit $400 per month, then hit $500 for 2026. Nothing wrong with that. That's the thing, it's always good to, I love comparing year on year, because then you really see, you really sort of get to see how you progressed, how you're doing, and it gives you more metrics. I'm a strong believer in metrics, because it works well. It works well. Rory, I'm still trying to get $1,000 a month on divs without destroying capital to do it. Andrew is in with Happy Festivus. Is there a crypto called 6-7? Got a feeling it exists. I don't know. We can look. Let's go to CoinGecko. All right, let's take a look and see. 6-7. Whoa. Let's just try the numbers. 6-7. No, I'm not actually finding anything. Oh, wait a minute. Here's the official. Oh, yeah, there is one. Look. The official 6-7 coin. It's actually worth almost 2.3 cents. But yeah, here's the 6-7 coin. You can apparently get it at PumpSwap. Or Meteoria? Okay. Or KSEX. There we go. But yeah, there is well, how official is it though, right? Somebody can just throw the name official on it, but there is at least one person trying to take advantage of it. Now, it does have a $22 million market cap, so there's definitely a few people who are involved in it for sure. Let's see. Now the airing of grievances. Yeah, that's I think that's a typical thing at Christmas. It's like your families all come together and it's all fun, and the gifts opening is all fun, and then later in the day, oh boy, yep, people start airing their grievances. Oh boy, it happens. I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. Let's see, puts up a single pole in the living room and fights the family. Is Harvest coming out with a new ETF soon? Yeah, they are. We got those, their banking version. So their kind of version, their response to 60. So there is that one. And then there is that other one, that HPYE. I think that's the other one. But yeah, it is certainly, coming out as well. The 6-7 coin is trending down. Guess the fad is fading. Well, it's even that. I mean, that's the thing. I think for somebody like the Zoomers, as soon as they realize the other generations are catching on to their phrases, they're going to they're going to change them. They're going to change them up. Both. I mean, both the Zoomers as well as the now the Alphas. I think is that the new generation. I think they're called the Alphas. Yeah, it's going to be. They're going to be doing the same stuff as well. Oh boy. Bismarcky says, my goal is $5,000 a month in distributions, then keep it growing with just reinvesting the distributions. Nice. Nice. JJ says, I'm thinking about starting. Let's see. I'm thinking about starting a new case study series, a road to 100K in my partner's TFSA monthly buys and updates is currently at 10K. Thoughts? Why not? I mean, I've got a 0 to 100K series, so yeah, if you want to do one, absolutely. Let's see, Jan says, we're doing our Christmas tomorrow. I'm ecstatic to have time to do more trading education today. All right. Yeah, well, tomorrow is like Boxing Day. Now, the market's closed tomorrow, so that's kind of interesting. Curious says, Merry Christmas all, wishing everyone a relaxing and happy holiday. Absolutely. Let's see. Also, 6-7 is a Gen Alpha thing. I don't don't bundle us in the same slop. Okay, all right, fair enough. 6-7 is a Alpha. All right. What can I say? I'm Gen X. So the millennials are a couple off, and then Zoomers, and what can I say? What can I say? Rory says, if MSTE would have held at 45 a share, I would be at 4,000 a month already, but I knew it would fall. I knew it would fail miserably. Yeah. So those of you who haven't heard, MSTE, they cut their dividend down to 20 cents. So 20 cents. Yikes. I'm just really glad I don't hold any MSTE. That's what I'll say. I'm glad. I'm very glad. Ian says, what has to happen to have RMAX go back to $17? Will money printing help? I think REITs will have a better year, at least in 2026, but will that get them back to $17? It's hard to say. I would like to see that. I think what we will see right now is I think the income, at least on RMAX, is stable. So that's always a good thing. So, I'm holding RMAX, and I like RMAX. RMAX for me was that one ETF I loved. I had huge expectations for it, and then RMAX kind of just didn't go where I was wanting to. And once again, that was a sector. That was a sector thing. Nobody really foresaw that that it was going to actually be different this time. And, RMAX was sort of a casualty of a few different things. One, people not moving back to REITs the way they typically do when rate cuts go down. The immigration changes also played a factor in there as well. So yeah, RMAX didn't pan out, but at the same time, I think they're going to go up. Right now, I'm happy with the income for now. So I'm patiently sitting to see what RMAX does in 2026. I think it will go up. Will it get to 17? I don't know. It really depends on how well those markets recover. Bismarcky, I think American markets are open tomorrow. Are they? They might be. Yeah, they might be. I'm not 100% sure. I never really looked at the U.S. markets for tomorrow. I just know that the Canadian markets are closed. Michelle says, happy holidays. Ian says, technically I'm a millennial, but I don't act like it. All right, fair enough. Rory says, I'm a crusty old Gen X Ebenezer Scrooge. There's nothing wrong with that. Whoops. I've been really good at going big screen when we're just talking. But, all right. Combos with JJ. I keep buying MSTE. It's the next value stock. Gary Gill. I just think, you know what? Will MSTE eventually come up? Yeah, yeah, it will. I just, like I said, I think there's just a lot of pain between here and then, and for most investors, the emotional aspect of it, I think, is rough, and I think that alone makes it not the best choice, I think, for most investors. But if you have high conviction, um, yeah, you are going to make money on the other side. So, you know, some like Progressive is I'm buying more MSTE. I do think you'll make money on the other side. I just think that for most investors, it's not a road that is suitable. Mario says, I did love REITs, but I gave up on them. Yeah, I think a lot of people have. 2027 TFSA limit at 7,500. Oh, was it 75? I think the other day I said 7,000. I thought it was 7,000, but all right. I will stand corrected. Let's see here. Globe and Mail did the numbers. Mario, I did love REITs, but gave up on them. I sold most of my REITs in the past month. Yeah, like right now, the only REITs I hold, my only exposure to real estate is through RMAX. And, I'm okay with that. I'm getting the income. It's been reliable. And I think, let me just take a gander here. I'm just going to pull up the TFSA challenge here for a second. I'm not sharing it. There's just no point. I just want to see where I am sitting with RMAX. Yeah, RMAX is up a tiny bit in my portfolio, 3.28% total return. So obviously the dividends are pushing it up. So I'm not fully happy with where it's at. I'm not ready to sell it, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Ian says, even after divs, I'm still down on RMAX. I like it for the real estate exposure. I just timed, the entry wrong. Yeah, and that's the thing. I could average it down a bit more, but right now, I think I'm just going to leave it be for the moment. Lisa says, I don't think Boxing Day is a big thing in the U.S. I don't think so. I think so. I know it's a bigger thing here. Well, I was going to say normally that was kind of like the Canadian version of Black Friday, but nowadays it's not even the one day. Most places started their Boxing Day sales like earlier in the week. So it usually goes like a Boxing Week sale type thing. Cowboy had a couple of REITs, just traded them into split cores. Yeah, I think you'll do better with split cores, to be honest. Hey, no pain, no gains. Am I right? Oh, that's that can be the situation for sure. Curious says, RMAX is my biggest disappointment for this year, hoping 2026 will bring in some return. Yeah, not my biggest disappointment, but definitely one of the bigger ones for sure. Bismarcky says, I'm buying $2 of MSTE every day, not willing to go all in on it, less the 1% of my portfolio. Yeah, that's not a bad way to do it. If you do want that exposure, but I do have exposure to MSTE through HHIS, so it's not like I have no money in the game. It's just going at it through a different method. Ian says, I would not like to be a crypto investor, not because I think it's bad. It's just that when I talk to a crypto investor, they get real defensive, same as when I talk to EV owners. Well, crypto's had a rough time, though. I can understand why they get defensive. Like, so many people are always attacking crypto. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's going to zero. That's kind of that thing that they hear daily. And people like, are you crazy? You're investing in crypto. So yeah, they get a lot. They get a lot of grief for sure. But the reality is, it's a lot of the bigger investors now have a small crypto exposure, like at least a share in their portfolio. Maybe it's only as small as 5%, but it's still there. All right. Mario says, I have RMAX and Granite REIT. Rory, FTN, DFN split course. I looked at those, just can't commit. All right, fair enough. I will point out, though, Rory, if you catch the video that I dropped yesterday, The 9 point split core actually doesn't look too bad. I like what I saw with it, so that might be one to look at as well. Cowboy, with new bi-monthly stuff available, I can't get into REITs anymore. And I think a lot of people have moved in that direction for sure. So, Cowboy, ask Gary about that pain, JJ. Yeah, poor Gary Gill. Yeah, he made 100,000. But you know what? The fact that he made the video about losing 100,000, that exploded his channel. Like, he got so many views from that. I'm not willing to do that personally. I'm not going to lose $100,000 just to get some extra views, but not like he did it on purpose. Not like he. I want to be very clear. He did not do it on purpose. Michelle says, still really wanting to buy RSCL, but knowing nothing, I'm afraid the U.S. situation will hurt the Russell. Am I wrong in your expert opinion? It's going to be really interesting. So when we look at the Russell, I mean, the Russell, like even this month, the Russell's having a pretty good month. Like, well, here, let's take a quick look here. All right, so here's the Russell. So right now, this is December. They're well above this blue line. Guys, if you've not been to a market close, you won't know what this blue line is, but this is where the Russell ended last, the end of November. So this is where they closed out November. So December, the Russell actually did pretty darn good. So the Russell, and let me see here if I have, oh, do I not have it? I do not have it. Where is it? All right. Oh boy, I don't have the seasonal stuff down here. Normally it gives me that. Let me just take a look on this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. Anyway, that's something else. All right. Bummer. Normally, like I'll give you an example here with the TFSA it's showing me. So year to date, 28.92%. I also got it for like the S&P 500, 17.43%. So Canada kicking their butt. But the Russell, it doesn't actually give it to me. I'm like, no, I don't know what they're up on the year. So that's interesting. That is interesting. I would actually have to zoom out. Let me just pull up the 1 year and see what we got. See what we got here. All right, let's see. All right, there's April, January. All right, yeah, so right here. So yeah, they are up on the year. So they had a half decent year. Well, part of the year, look at this. During the time of all of the Trump stuff, Liberation Day and stuff, they crashed big time. That's a danger. So that right there is a danger. So if Trump does anything really strange, that causes a crash that we recover from really quickly on most markets, you might find that the Russell's going to take it a little bit more on the chin than everybody else. So keep that in mind with that Russell. But for the most part, do I think it's going to? I think it's more risky. You are looking at little stocks. Now, I will point out, because we have a U.S. election in November, so the midterms, I can't see the current government, because they're doing everything they can to try to get people to vote red. I can't see them letting things get too out of control. That could be a good thing for the Russell, but it is more risky. It is definitely more risky. You would be, you are still safer going for a broader market. Anything like S&P 500, NASDAQ, definitely more safe than the Russell. So if anything, if you want to keep it, I wouldn't scale it up, maybe even scale it back a little, but I wouldn't go too deep into the Russell for 2026, just because we don't really know how that is going to respond. And like I said, I think the markets are going to be fine, and the Russell will probably be fine, but I can't say with 100% that I think the market. Well, I can't say it with 100% for anything in the market, but I definitely can't say it for the Russell for sure. All right. Jan says, I sold all my REITs off, never regretted it. Let's see. My biggest disappointment this year was selling EXE, Extendicare, at $13.50. Yeah. And just so you guys know what he is talking about, Here's Extendicare. Right now they're sitting at 21.32. So 21.32. And currently, now let's actually pull this back up again. All right, there we go. And what am I on? Oh, I'm on the day. I'm on the day. I'm gonna put me back to my. I'm normally doing this on the hour. All right, let's pull this back. Eek. There we go. Readjusting things. All right, there we go. So yeah, we're currently in a downward trend right now with EXE. But the thing about EXE, Extendicare, they are, well, you know, they basically have long-term hold care facilities. So that's a group of people that is only getting bigger. So the demand for long-term care going up, and that will work really well for companies like Extendicare. There's others out there as well, like SIA. There's a lot. There's a lot. And I think they're all going to do really, really well. So yeah, this is one, like I said, I have this here because we charted this the other day. I think we're doing a little thing on swing trading on one of the live streams. So, all right, Rory says, sat back and watched NHU go from 1450 to 18 in one day. Didn't get in, dangerous funds anyway. Yes, anytime you're playing with some of those funds like NHU, those are the Beta Pro ones. So they have 2x leverage on it. So that one there is natural, I believe that one's the natural gas. Yeah, they can move pretty quick. And you want to be in and out in a day because they reset their leverage every day, and that can have strange math consequences. So yeah, you want to be very, very careful. Like I would say 95% of my channel viewers should not touch these at all. These are designed for day traders. They're not designed for anything beyond a day. They're really not designed for investing. All right. JJ says only invest in thematic sectors and single stocks that you can afford to lose, not your life savings. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like if you take your entire life savings into a single stock or a single ETF stock, that's not really a good strategy because even if that stock has really good fundamentals, there are black swan things that can come along, like let's say a massive scandal or, let's just say a massive scandal. That alone could tank the price for longer than you might be comfortable with. So yeah, it is dangerous to do that. I like diversification. I will never not be a fan of diversification. That's for sure. All right, Jan says, I worked in a Loblaw store 14 years. Can't see they will ever have a profit problem. If they can save a dime or make a dime, they do it whatever it takes. Nice to be on the receiving end. Yeah, so Loblaws, Superstore. Well, Superstore, depending on what part of the country you're in, is part of Loblaws as well. So, yeah, they are definitely very stingy. I worked in the West. I actually worked for Superstore there, and I managed the leisure department. And the budgets I got, staff budgets, were crazy. Like it was as slim as you can get, to the point that if I couldn't get my staff to get everything I needed to get done, and there was more work than staff for sure, because I was on salary, I have to come in and do it myself. I have to come in and pick up whatever the staff didn't get done. And probably the worst, I think it's the worst job I ever had, for the simple reason that I was doing 60 to 80 hour weeks. Quite literally, the only time I was home was to sleep, and then I was right back. So it was, yeah, grueling company to work for sure. But if you're making money as an investor, obviously not that bad of a company to be investing in for sure. Michelle, haven't watched the Split Core interview. Very curious about Split Core for stable income and growth. Yeah, I do. I like it. And the beautiful thing about this video, and this is kind of one of the things, even though 9 Point wanted me to, to sort of touch on their split core, I kind of formatted the whole questioning when I brought the questions to them as kind of a good education for what split cores are, how they operate. So you can pretty much substitute any split core name with NPS from the data in this video, and it gives you a general idea how they work, how the threshold works. So yeah, it's a lot of good information for sure. All right. Let's see. So JG says he's not hurt and he purely did it for YouTube. Yeah, you know what? And that's the thing. 100,000 seems like a lot to most of us, but you know, if you've got if you've got more than $1 million in assets, 100,000 may not be that big of a deal. It really boils down to what you have as your as your overall net worth, of course. True publicity pump. There we go. Rory, I just hope a few Wall Street bet simpletons don't follow Gary into buying those funds. Yeah. I haven't really heard, like, Wall Street bets has not really, they haven't really shaken anything up in a long time, as far as I know. Unless they did and I didn't hear about it, but that would be odd. Luke, Merry Christmas, Candace, and everyone. Thanks for all the good info and insight. Well, you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. Let's see. Cowboy, BK and FTN did 2 splits in the last 4 months. Free money is always great. And nothing wrong with that. And wow, Hipple is in with a Merry Christmas. Gotta love that. And let's see. Roy says like over 100K worth like he did. Let's see. Ian says, actually, my biggest disappointment was seeing YouTube channels with teen content taking gambling app sponsorships. Do you ever get offers from companies like that? Yes. I turn them all down. I have turned down a lot of different things. So I've turned down anything affiliated with gambling. Also, anything affiliated with crypto. I won't take a crypto sponsorship. I not to say that I have anything against crypto, and I strongly like crypto. But some of the sponsorships I've gotten, like, have been really kind of sus. They've been very sus. So yeah, there's a lot of different things. Also, anybody who sends me who sends me anything saying, I would love to look at your rates and stuff. Let's connect on Telegram. It's like, yeah, nope, I'm not going to meet with you on Telegram. So yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the only 2 sponsors that I've said yes to have been Evolve and 9Point. Actually, I mean, a 9Point. When I agreed to do a sponsorship with them, they actually sent me a gift basket. I was like, that's nice. So Evolve didn't send me a gift basket, but 9Point did. So I certainly was like, that was like awesome. But yeah, I'm careful too, because you know what? Out of the sponsorships, like especially some of these more seedier ones, some of them are probably scams at the same time, hoping to get control of my YouTube channel. Like, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll send you a fake sponsorship. Everything looks on the up and up. And then they send you a package. Usually it's in a zipped file. You open it thinking it's all of the material you need to do the sponsorship. And as soon as you open it, even though it looks legit even inside when you've opened it up, in the background, it's taking control of your YouTube channel. It's changing the passwords. It's pulling it doesn't actually delete your videos, but it makes them all private. And then it puts up a live stream that it will run. It'll just run until eventually YouTube pulls them down. And usually that live stream is some kind of a scam. Maybe it's Mark Carney talking about an investment fund and how people need to get in on it. And then of course, Mark Carney wants you to send him crypto. So what can I say? So yeah, I'm a little careful with things like that. And I also, and this is one of the things I've adamantly said, that I'm not going to take a sponsorship just for money. It's got to be something that I like. Like if I don't like a product, I'm not going to do a sponsorship on it. It's just, yeah, no. my integrity is still important to me, so for sure. Like, and I'll even say with this video, the one that came out yesterday, um, of course, the way a sponsorship works is, we make the video, then it has to go back. It has to go back to their compliance team to make sure that, everything is fine in there. And usually the reason it goes back to their compliance team, it's not to edit things per se. It's more or less to make sure that nobody says anything that could cause a lawsuit. So that's basically what the compliance teams are all about. So yeah, they edited nothing I said. There was one small thing that one of them said. It wasn't even that he said. There was nothing wrong with what he said. He just, one of the guys went on this little bit of a ramble, and they were just like, please remove that ramble. So that was the only thing I had to change. It was, very, very easy. I liked it. I liked it for sure. All right, and I saw something here. We got a super sticker coming in from Michelle, $1.49. And guys, as I said, for today's our last day. Every little thing like that gets our Christmas goat. Here we go. Uh, I won't get to see this goat after today. I'm sad about that. I'm sad about that. But nonetheless, there was our Christmas goat for sure. All right. And where the banana bread am I at right now? All right, just give me a second here. I went over to the other screen and I lost where I am at. So what can I say? Let's see. Here I was. I was right here. Next up, Mario. So EQCL has the Russell 2000 in the ETF. Okay, well there's another option as well. Looking at what Mario is saying there, EQCL, that could be now that is, of course, you are going to get some income out of that one as well. So that might be an option, or at least something worth looking at. Rory says, Cowboy, I'll look at BK after our dinner presents. And Jan says, I'm considering getting some more MSTE at this price. Not a bad div considering its price, but yes, it may still be dicey. I may give it a bit more time to see when it hits bottom. Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing. If you are, if you're going to play with MSTE at this point or at this price, just be prepared. It could still go down. It absolutely could still go down. I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying it could. I think it's going to be a rough ride, but as long as you're prepared for that and you're like, oh, I'm just getting a little bit, I'm prepared, I'm okay. I think you'll be fine. And honestly, on the other side of this, and I can't tell you where the other side is. It might be a year, it might be 2, it might even be after the next crypto winter. But I think you're gonna, you'll definitely probably get back into the green. I think MSTE will make money, but it's a rough ride. I understand what Michael Saylor is doing, but I'll tell you, it's probably one of the harder stocks to diamond hand for sure. All right. Michelle says, thanks. I'll hold off with the Russell. Michael says, LW being down almost $20 when REVS was a beat by 24 million. Oh, when Rev was a beat by 24 million, that earnings was 69. Was 05 a beat, then raised dividend to 38. Then you could Google the 2024 many companies made offer. Okay, so LW. Yeah. And always keep in mind, guys, like, it's not always straightforward when you're looking at earnings. So you can exceed expectations on both EPS and revenue, but still go down. And we've seen it happen with NVIDIA, because we always watch the NVIDIA ones on the market close. It can happen. It can happen. Sometimes it's what you're presenting. Maybe your orders are down for the next quarter. That could certainly do it. Or maybe you have a problem with one of your chips or one of your products, or problems like that will sometimes show up in that quarterly report, and that can be the area that can pull you down, even though the quarter you're reporting for, you did really good. Sometimes the forward stuff can certainly pull things down. Absolutely. Cowboy, BK has some holdings as many bank and DFDFN. All right, let's see here. Luke says, Candace, I read that a 10% correction is normal every 6 to 12 months. Seems like we are due. Do you ever collect cash in anticipation of a correction, Buffett style? I have a cash account. Like even right now in the 0 to 100K challenge, I have a, let me just actually take a look here. Just because I happen to have it right here next to me. Boop, 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 boop. Here it is right here. So currently, yeah, right now, basically 9.5% of the 0 to 100K challenge is sitting in T-Cash. So there's a significant cash position there. I did spend one of them. I did cash one of them in, was it last month? I think it was last month because I wanted just a little bit more of something. December, no, I haven't cashed any of it in. But yeah, if there's a big correction, if we get another big, let's say a Liberation Day style correction, I'll have no problem cashing them all in and putting it into whatever the best deal is on that day. No problem doing that at all. But yeah, right now it is sitting a little bit high because a lot of times too, like a lot of income investors don't even hold a cash position. And that's fine because if you are into pure income, your goal is just generating that income. You're not normally saving things per se, but it really comes down to though what you want to do. Like if you're an income investor and you want a cash position, there's nothing wrong with that. So there's more than one way to be an income investor. There's more than one way to be a growth income investor, and there's more than one way to be a dividend growth dividend investor. Da 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 da. Christmas, what can I say? All right, EXE, the Wrinkle Ranch. Well, a Wrinkle Ranch that pays well. That's the way I look at it. Ian said, I had 1,500 shares of EXE at 650. Investing is fun. I doubled my money and still feel like a loser. Merry Christmas, everyone. I will say this. When you look at money that, that you could have made, but yet, if you still made money, you're still a winner. Like I always say, $1 of profit is profit. It's a big difference than being down a whole bunch of money. So yeah, sometimes you don't ride things all the way to the top. I know this for sure. With swing trading, I very often don't hit the full potential of what a trade could have been. But that's fine. That's because I'm a little on the conservative side when it comes to that. And I'm okay with that. If I'm in the green, I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy. Rory says, yeah, Severius, another Wrinkle Ranch stock. Yeah, so SIS, there's another one. Because, yeah, we were looking at EXE, and I mentioned SIA. SIS, there's another one as well. Wonders when CPKC will increase divs. Interesting question. I know CNR does once a year because, well, CNR is actually a dividend aristocrat. I don't know how many years their current streak is, but they've been doing it for quite a while. I feel like they've been doing it for like 30 years. I feel like it. Oh boy. You know what? I don't like guessing. Let's see if Google can tell us. Let's just try this. How well is the Google AI? All right, how many years has CNR increased their dividend? We'll put it here. Let's see. Oh, here we are. I said around 30. 29th. So basically 2025, and because they just increased their dividend in the fall. I think in the fall they announced the one for 2025. But yeah, they're sitting at 29 consecutive years. So now I know you asked about CPKC. That I don't know. I wonder. Let's actually take a look. Are they on a streak? I'm gonna check. Let's see here. I do not know. Yeah, they're not really on a streak. Okay. So CNR is an aristocrat. CPKC, not so much. So hopefully, I haven't heard anything, but I wouldn't be surprised. Cowboy says HNU sounds like trying to lick the electric fence between pulses. Too scary for me. Yup. Yep. It's I learned about those pulses. I was trying to get a cow's attention. Don't ask me why. I've told the story before, but I was just going, here, come on, and hitting the, oh, I guess you have to be big size. I was like, come here, cow, come here, just hitting the thing. And I just happened to hit the fence when the pulse was going through. And that's when I learned about pulses. It threw me on my butt. It threw me on my butt. But that was, I'd never really seen a cow. Well, I've seen cows in pictures, but that was the first cow. What can I say? Rory, I had my hand in an electric fence on my uncle's farm as a kid. That's probably why I'm a nutty investor trader today. Maybe. Jackie is in the house. Merry Christmas, Candace. I bought VCI when you featured it this year. Check out the progress on it. All right, VCI. Let's go take a look. Let's take a look at good old, whoops. There we go. This is where I want to go. Good old VCI. All right, so VCI is virtuous gas. Virtuous gas. Sorry, glass. Virtuous glass. There we go. Yeah, I had featured them in a list video earlier in the year. And oh, look at this. So they have consistently through the year, made some moves up, and now, oh boy, that's actually pretty darn good, Jackie. That's pretty darn good. Look at this. I like it. I like it. That's pretty good. So yeah, this has been a company that I like. I mean, glass is pretty darn important. And let me show you something else too. Let's go into the back end for a second. Return on equity. Look at this, guys. 69.72% with no debt. Yeah, you can't. You can't. This is amazing. This is amazing. So yeah, this has absolutely been fantastic. All right, now speaking of Jackie, Jackie has gifted a Mountain Finance membership. So Outlander won. Sorry, Ian, I know you've been looking for one, but Outlander won. And guys, as I said, anything that happens today, we get the Christmas goat. We get the Christmas goat. The goat is so happy. Santa was very good to this goat, for sure. I love it. I love that Christmas goat. Ah, it's going to be so hard to say goodbye to the goat. All right. Now, let's see here. Now I just need to find, where the heck am I? All right, let's see here. All right. It knocked me off again. It knocked me off again. All right. I'm not that far up. All right, let's see here. Yeep-a-doop-doo-doo. There's the Wrinkle Ranch. There's Severa. Here we are. Luke, I'm heavily invested in Severia. Folks mistakenly thought tariffs would hurt the company, so I bought the dip back in May. No, tariffs I don't think are going to impact any of the long-term care home companies. For the simple reason that, whether there's tariffs or not, it does not change the fact that there's a lot of people that need the long-term care. So no, absolutely not. All right. How did I miss that one? How did I miss that one? I just noticed that one was squeezed between one I had read and another one I had read. All right. JJ says 400K now actually in MSTE. Oh, is that you or Gary Gill? It could be Gary. Ian says, I like new investment vehicles, but split core sounds disgusting. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I will say this. My opinion on split cores was pretty darn negative going into the last bear market. But now understanding how they work a lot more, because I did some research on them. I did a lot more research. I don't dislike them the way I used to. I can see how they work, and I can understand them. And One of the things I really like, guys, is I also did that deep dive this year on the split core ETF. That one was pretty good. That one was pretty good. It's holding now. Mostly, a lot of the stuff it holds is Quadravest, but it was pretty good. But we'll look more at split cores and educate you guys on them a little bit. But you don't have to go split core. There's plenty of really good covered call ETFs if ETFs tickle your fancy a little bit more. Cowboy. Let's see. Still 10% of a million. Do that 9 more times and you're broke. Okay, that's true. That is true. Yeah, all it takes is losing 10% of a million to no longer be a millionaire if that's where you started. That's for sure. Ian, are you hiding your face behind the comment like Wilson on Home Improvement? Oh, yeah, that's the thing. When the circle's down there and the comments down there, I may have to move the circle somewhere else. I don't know. I have such a hard time with the circle. Rory says, ha ha ha. Didn't Wilson have a face for radio and a voice for print? Maybe. Let's see. I will watch the 9-point video later tonight. Awesome. Thank you. Mayor says, hi, Merry Christmas. Do you happen to know of any hedge split core funds one can buy in USD? Thanks. That's a good question. So split cores they're pretty exclusively Canadian. Like they are a Canadian invention. I don't know of any other country that has them. So can you buy them in USD? If you Here's the thing, because I think you're sitting in the United States, Mayor. So split cores could be a little bit hard to get. If your broker is able to hold Canadian stuff, you might be able to do it that way. And if that's the case, you should be able to either transfer over. Like, this is the question. This is and this is where I'm a little ignorant. I'm a little ignorant on this. I don't know a lot of American brokers and what they're able to do. So if you have an American broker that can invest in the TSX, I can't see why that would be an issue. But obviously check with your broker, see if they can do it, because that's kind of that thing. And a lot of times, if you do have a broker that allows you to invest in Canadian stocks, then it's just a matter of seeing if it's there. Seeing if it's there, that would be your definitive answer. Ian says, Donut Media is a YouTube car channel that's directed at high school kids. Got a sponsorship with stake. Almost every comment on that video was people complaining about the online gambling sponsorship. Yeah. Now, one thing I will say is, like, I won't be sponsored. I will never take a gambling sponsorship, but I will say I got no control. So those of you who watch, who see the ads that come up on my channel, I got no control what they put there. And I think gambling probably gets in there because gambling is just, they're everywhere. Like, even when I'm watching streaming at home and I got ads, holy cow. It's like gambling, car, gambling. It's just ridiculous the amount of gambling ads that are out there. Rory, let's see. I have the red-green theme playing in my head right now. Okay, why not? If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. There we go. Everything can go down. It's weather. It can come back. Exactly. My first broker gave me the best advice. You can make money as a bull and as a bear, but rarely will you make money being a pig. Fair enough. Fair enough. Cowboy, I find it frustrating that the comment on many channels are run over by scammers trying to entice people to invest in rip-off stocks. Yeah. Yeah, I do my best. Well, you guys have seen it. There's been a few times we've got a couple of people coming in here trying to set up a scam. As soon as I see it, I boot them. I boot them right away. But it happens. It happens. And YouTube is getting a lot better in the comments on the videos. They're getting a lot better. Like a lot of that stuff now, I find it in I call it YouTube jail. I find it over there in YouTube jail. And that's good. I'm glad, because I don't have to. But what they've been doing lately is, if you leave a comment, they'll try to put a comment on your comment to try to start up that chain to see if I will miss it or to see if YouTube will miss it. Anytime I see those, I'm in on those ones too. Because, yeah, just keep in mind, guys, no matter who the channel is, whether it's my channel or anybody else on YouTube, um, anybody trying to offer, trying to get you to go to some Telegram link is probably a scammer. Probably, I would say there's such a high chance it's a scammer that I wouldn't risk it under any circumstances. Just delete the comment or report the comment. But yeah, never follow anyone to Telegram. It's not safe. Let's see. I don't like the Motley Fool. I've never been a fan of the Motley Fool. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy ho ho ho. Thank you, Chad. Wishing everyone a safe and merry holiday. Tried to do a super sticker, got the same message, then I had to close the app to get the message to go away. Oh no. The one downside to being in Colombia there, Ian. Mario says, you can have a family day goat or an Easter goat day. Oh, there we go. Maybe an Easter goat would be funny. We'll see. Or maybe I can just, it doesn't necessarily have to be a goat. Yeah, GOAT is the acronym, greatest of all time, but does it have to be a goat? I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with something. I mean, we do have that one little beaver one too. So we have that. Michelle, it's a blue sky here on the West Coast, heading to the water. Be well all. Enjoy the water, Michelle. Enjoy the water. Ian said, I said split core. I said spit core, not split core. Oh, okay. Then it was probably a joke and I missed it. I feel bad. Anything's a good reason to make a goat. Patricia's in with a Merry Christmas. And you too as well, says Michael. All right. One of the perks of the show is the scammers get kicked and blocked. They sure do. They sure do. I'll kick a scammer as fast as I can. Absolutely. Rory says dancing rubber chicken would be funny. Ooh, that would actually be funny. I agree. Oh, guys, Wahipple is in with a gifted membership. Patricia won. Sorry, Ian. I feel like saying sorry, Ian, every time. But that brings out the Christmas goat one more time. Hello, Christmas goat. Enjoy your dance. Enjoy your dance. It could be your last. It could be your last. And Patricia is in with a quick thank you to Wahipple. I love it. I love it. For me, there's nothing better than when someone gifts a sub, that person is in the chat and can say thank you. I love it when that happens. To me, that's the best. Anyway, Ian says, I doubt I can win a membership until I change my location. Going to look at it after this. That's a good question. Maybe your location is causing issues as well. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I did. Chad says congratulations, and Ian, you're another skiz. Oh yeah. So that was last year, wasn't it? Last year, we were doing this. No, it was the year before. It was the year before last. Oh my God, time is going by fast. That was 2 years ago. Part of my celebration is I was doing this crazy gift run. So I was gifting like a crap load of memberships as part of the holiday festive thing. And Skiz every day was trying to win one and just never did. I think afterwards we found out that Skiz wasn't even eligible to win, and that was why. But it became a running thing. It was hilarious. Wahipple says you're welcome. And Bismarcky, try using a VPN. Yeah, that's another option as well. Holy cow. Oh, guys, we are getting a little bit towards the end here. This was only supposed to be an hour stream on Christmas. We're at an hour and 39 minutes, but you know what, you guys keep the stuff coming. Anyway, we're getting to the end. If you got your last minute questions, get them on in, or your comments, or anything at all, or or Merry wishes, or Happy New Year's, all of that fun stuff. I'm gonna have some coffee. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys figure that out. Now, the whole VPN thing, I heard that YouTube is really good at determining if somebody has a VPN, and sometimes Sometimes it tends to not be so easy. All right. Rory says, QQQ. When do fund managers usually take their MER for the year? Um, Typically, it's already built in. It happens all like it's sort of a seamless thing. It's not like at one point they take that money. It is kind of built right into the fund. So when they're doing all of their calculations as normal, all of their expenses obviously come out as they move. They don't do it once a year. So yeah, and it's seamless. And this is something, guys, you're never going to see that on your back end. So when a company says to you, we're going to give you a 10% dividend, well, you get the 10% dividend because that MER has already been taken out. Now, it might be a situation like, let's say they have a 1% management expense ratio. Well, they might have the money that they bring in through premiums and dividends with whatever is in that fund. It might be enough to pay 11%, but when they take that 1% cut, then you're getting a 10%, and that's what they would publish on their website. So that's all going on in the back end. It's sort of a constant thing. It's not really it's not a situation where you can say, oh, well, if they're taking that MER out on December 10th, I can just jump out of my fund on December 9th and save myself from paying it. It doesn't work that way at all. It's built right into the background. So, you know, um, I don't think there's any. There might be maybe one fund out there somewhere that does it a weird way, but typically you don't even need to worry about it. Um, Other than, and I guess going off on and we're in a tangent. We're in a tangent, I guess. Obviously, if it's a really high MER, you may not want to. You may want to look for one that has a cheaper MER. So when everything is equal and the MER is higher on one fund than another, well, in a case like that, you might want to avoid it. All right, and I just noticed Meowie Kitchen in with a gifted membership. So Progressive Investing is here. Congratulations, you won a Mountain Finance membership from Jill. Jill has donated that to you, and that brings up we do get to see the goat one more time. I was thinking we had finally seen the last of the goat, but no, we got to see the goat again. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Oh, yes, I'm really gonna miss the goat. Cowboy. Your thoughts of putting the 7K into the bi-monthly stocks evenly split? Yeah, is it seven? Vic was saying it's 7,500, and I think it is 7,500. But um, would I evenly split them? Yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, it depends on your goals, though, right, Cowboy? So I know that we've talked about this before, and you were talking about Biggie and a few others. I would look at it this way: if you're an income investor, that's not a bad strategy. It's not a bad strategy because you're going to create a bit more income. Does it need to be all of them? It could be if that's better diversification for sure. But yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. And I think it probably does align with where you are as an investor. But yeah, if it makes sense to you, it's not a bad idea. Mayor says, hey again. Yes, I can buy Canadian stocks, but I was looking at those that one can buy in USD, like ebank.u or something similar. Oh, okay, okay. I don't know of any split cores off the top of my head, Mayor. I don't know of any split cores that do have one pegged to the US dollar. Not that I'm aware of, but it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. But I don't know of any. I'll keep my eyes open. I will keep my eyes open. If I find any that are pegged to the US dollar, I'll let you know. Or if anybody here, if any of you know of one that is pegged to the US dollar. Ian says, congrats, Progressive Investing. Ian, I'm so sorry. Jill tried to help you out, tried to do you a solid, but it might be, and you know what? This is the thing, like, it might even be the situation that somebody could drop 100 gifted subs and it may not hit you if there is an issue with where you're located. And I don't understand why. YouTube is worldwide. There should not be any of these global issues. There really shouldn't be. So that to me is just very odd. I find it incredibly odd. What can I say? Oh boy. Um, oh, so this afternoon, guys, I do have to, after I have lunch, I'm going to put together, I'm going to get out Friday's video. So channel members, one of the benefits, guys, of being a channel member, as Progressive's about to find out, is you do get to see videos one day early. So you'll be able to see, Progressive will be able to watch the video, and Patricia will both be able to see tomorrow's video this afternoon, as soon as I get it done. Well, the video's done, it's edited. I just have to make the thumbnail and upload it. So I'll do that right after lunch. But yeah, guys, holy banana bread. Let's see. We've got another QQQ here. Cowboy. Does the Canada do with withholding on dividends going south? What like withholding on dividends going south? Well, withholding. So okay. I think I know what you're asking. So with withholding tax, so for example, if you're holding a U.S., let's say you have a U.S. dividend, a U.S. stock that has a dividend of 10%, and you're just holding it in a non-registered account. Well, 15% of that, of course, the IRS is going to take it. Now, they will take it before it gets to you. They're not taking it after it gets to you. So when, let's say, the 10% is from Banana Co. USA. So Banana Co. USA pays, but they will take 15% of what they're paying. That'll go to the IRS. The remaining 85% will then go to you. So that'll, or well, to your broker, and your broker will give that to you. So that's taken before it even leaves the United States. So that cash never comes in. So the Canadian government doesn't even get to touch it. What the Canadian government then will do is they'll have a foreign tax credit that they will offer you for that withholding tax. So that foreign tax credit, all that's doing is it's not them giving you back money that the IRS took. It's just that they're not going to take as much taxes as they would normally take from the dividends. So the way that would work is, one, it depends on your income level, also depends on which province you are in. Will you get back all of that money? Now, the government will still take a tiny bit usually. You usually end up still paying a little bit, but you pay a much reduced amount with the foreign tax credit. So that's kind of how that all works. So, but now another type of withholding tax, and we're going to talk, because I'm not sure which ones you're referring to, but when you said going south, I was thinking of that US one. The only other one, and we'll just mention this because it's kind of interesting, is the US government, the Canadian government, if you're taking a withdrawal out of your RRSP, that 15%, the broker will take that, and that gets sent to the CRA. You get that money back, provided you don't owe it when you get to tax time. And let's see, what does Canada keep like the US government does? Okay. Okay. Now I think I understand what you're saying. So, all right. So you're thinking of Canadian dividends that somebody in the US is collecting. Is that, I think that's where you were going. So kind of the opposite direction. Okay, fair enough. It's going to be a similar situation. So yeah, Canada would hold back, like the CRA would take a certain amount of withholding tax if it's not in a properly registered account. And so I think like if they put it in a Roth IRA, they're fine. But if they're holding it outside of that, yeah, there would still be withholding tax. And obviously the U.S. government, and I don't know the tax system of the U.S. government, but I'm sure that they would have a foreign tax or a foreign tax credit as well, because there is a tax treaty between Canada and the U.S., and that's what sets which accounts money will not, that they won't take taxes from. And typically it boils down to one thing. If somebody's going to get double taxed, there's either going to be a credit or it's not going to be eligible. So when you look at the TFSA, this is the reason um, if you're holding U.S. dividends in the TFSA, the IRS will tax you because you're not getting taxed by anybody else. They'll take that, and that's one tax. In the RRSP, well, it's 100% taxable, so the government's getting their tax. The Canadian government, the U.S. doesn't tax you because you're already getting taxed. So you got that. You don't want the two taxes. The only place where there is two taxes per se is in a non-registered, but the tax credit that comes in from the foreign tax credit, that sort of eliminates that as being a big issue. It's not 100% depending on your province, but it helps quite a bit. All right. Ian says, it says it is available in Colombia, but I need to purchase from Canada because my iTunes store account is set to Canada. Oh, well then maybe you need to change your iTunes store, or can you have multiple iTunes store accounts? Could you have like a Colombia one? And it's funny when I say Columbia and I start thinking about iTunes, my mind went immediately to Columbia House. If you remember the Record and Tape Club, I don't know why, but yeah, I'm just wondering if you could do but that's probably what it is. So I don't think it's YouTube then. It's definitely iTunes. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't have a solution to that unless you find a way to pay what's not iTunes. Cowboy, does Canada keep okay, we already did that. But do Americans get tax withheld by the CRA? Yeah, and that's what we would say. Yes, they would. Unless they're in the count that's considered a registered account by the tax treaty. So for example, I believe the Roth, and I'm not 100% on this, but I do believe the Roth IRA is the one that's listed in the tax treaty. I would need to verify that 100%, but that would be one that you wouldn't get taxed, so that CRA would not pull that money out in that situation because it's in the proper account, according to, of course, the tax treaty. Love it. Can't remember what's a good VPN for iPhones. I don't know. I think the other day we were talking about Surfshark. I think everybody mentioned Surfshark was pretty good. So, and they're apparently, if I remember correctly in that conversation, they're apparently a subset of NordVPN. So yeah, I think both of those are probably good. Cowboy, had a scammer telling me to pay my taxes in iTunes cards. Oh, wow, that's hilarious. Ian, I wanted to change the iTunes account to Columbia, but it says I need to cancel my Apple Music and Apple TV. Me and my daughter are watching The Sopranos start to finish. Don't want to lose that. Yeah, understandable for sure. So, okay, if it won't let you do two, yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, the only thing is how if you had another account for when you're making payments to like Canada or something, doesn't necessarily need to be iTunes, but I'm sure that, yeah, I don't have a good solution. Ian, you may just have to go without a membership. It just seems to me that it's odd. Well, you know what? No, well, here's the thing though. If the issue is iTunes, right? Then maybe you could be gifted a membership. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that because you have won memberships in the past, so I think you're eligible. I think you're eligible. And speaking of memberships, we got Tom in, and June Val received a gift membership. Sorry, Ian. But Tom did his part to try to help you out, Ian, and we get to see the Christmas goat one more time. One more. This is probably the last time we'll see the Christmas goat this year. But what can I say? What can I say? All right. Well, thank you very much, Tom. Always appreciate. Holy banana bread, guys! This has been a much longer Christmas stream than we typically have. Quite literally, I think all of our Christmas streams have been around an hour. So you guys are just making these streams longer. I'm okay with it. It's fine. But I will definitely say, oh, wait a minute. I got Ian here. Had a guy selling a car on Marketplace, thought it was a scam, offered to pay in gift cards. Guy got really excited. I messed with him for a few hours, reported him to the group admins. All right. Yeah, who's going to sell a card and says, yeah, I want a bunch of gift cards? Yeah, there's a, I'll tell you guys right now, if you sell things on Marketplace, this is a big one. If you're selling something on Marketplace, make sure whatever e-account. So if you let's say you wanted to get an e-transfer for whatever the item is, make sure you have auto deposit turned on. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of the scammers, one of the newer scams that goes around is somebody will call you up and says, yeah, I want to buy that lamp. Can I send you an e-transfer? And then they send you a fake e-transfer page that you go into. It looks like it's from your bank. You type in all your banking and your credentials to get in. And then you normally you get stuck on a page and you're just waiting and waiting and you got a circle going round and round and round. And while that's happening in the back end, they're logging into your bank and they're making as big a withdrawal as they possibly can. So they're cleaning you out. But here's the thing, if you have auto deposit on, you don't get that screen. It sort of it basically it short circuits their attempt to scam you. So it's the only safe way to sell something on Marketplace. If you so don't just do that, guys. Trust me, it it will save you guys from a lot of headaches. It's just not worth taking the chance. Yeah, just don't take the chance. Auto deposit, your best friend for sure. Merry Christmas. Rory says, have a great Christmas, everyone. Edmonton Gord in the house. Love The Sopranos. Watched the complete series from beginning to end many times. I might feel ashamed for saying this, but I have not actually watched The Sopranos. It's just I'm just not super into gangster stuff, but I've heard The Sopranos is really good. So it's on me. My bad. Let's see here. Ian says, my daughter got scammed the same way. Luckily, she had no money to start with. Well, that's always good. But yeah, so here we go. Just one person in chats had it happen to a family member. So it just goes to show auto deposit on. Auto deposit on, guys. Cowboy. I love the scammers selling expensive stuff for a pittance. To pay for surgery or cancer treatments. They don't get that we have social medicine. Yeah, actually, one of the best ones I saw is, and this woman recorded it. She was a sheriff, and she was at the police station when she got a call from one of the scammers who was threatening to have her arrested for not for some kind of tax issue and saying there's a warrant out for your arrest. And she was like, I'm the sheriff. I think I would know if there was a warrant. But it was fantastic. It was great. It's like calling the wrong person for a scammer. Let's see. Ian says, I've never seen the last season. Sopranos makes me nostalgic. Nostalgic for the early 2000s. Tried watching GOT, pretty violent. Game of Thrones, yes, very violent. There's a few big violent scenes in that show for sure. Ian, I've never seen Game of Thrones. It was a great show. I mean, it was good. Um, Other than I think a lot of people were disappointed with the ending, but I looked at it. I mean, when I analyzed the ending, I'm not going to spoil it because I know a lot of you haven't seen it. Um, I actually thought it wasn't bad. It wasn't what we wanted as fans, but I think it was what the characters wanted as characters. So if you look at it from that perspective, then you're like, oh, it actually does kind of make sense a little bit more. But it did feel rushed. It did feel rushed. I will say that for sure. Whew. All right, guys. Um, we made it to 2 hours. We've doubled the length of the Christmas stream this time. But guys, I do have to. I gotta leave because I gotta eat and get a video out for you guys, especially the channel members. So I, of course, will be back on Sunday. Actually, Sunday's the next show. I got 2 days off. Holy banana bread. I will be back on Sunday. We'll have this week. We'll have some more fun. And we also have a market close on Monday because the financial train, the financial express, it's still on the track. It's still on the track. So it's going to be fantastic. All right, guys. Until next time, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Festivus for the rest of us. Happy Hanukkah. Joyous, joyous, what? Insert anything I've missed. Joyous, insert anything I missed. All right. Until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your Christmas and have a fantastic Christmas supper. And I will see you guys Sunday. Until then.